And this genuinely is the best Australian whiskey I've ever had in my life. Let's get to the #1 whiskey of the year. What is the whiskey out of hundreds of world whiskeys I've tried is it #1? This might surprise some of you, but I think for a lot of you, actually, when I've talked about it before, I know a lot of you now on the Discord have actually got a bottle of this. And when you've talked about your top whiskies, this is on there. It's like the odd one out. It's like Scotch, 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 bourbon, and this one. If you're into that rich and spiced sort of whiskies, this distillery, or should I say vineyard, specialize in fortified wine. The thing is with Scotch is that, we talk about sherry casks and stuff, but if you've watched my sherried video, most sherried whiskies are not aged in whiskey that actually had sherry you actually drink, if that makes sense. Because in a nutshell, the sherry makers, they actually want really old casks, basically to the point that they fall apart. So what's happened is that there's this whole industry of companies that basically all they do is they take a cask and they season it for 6 months and then they sell it to Scotland. That's their business model. And that's pretty much every sherried whiskey. This distillery though, legitimately, when they put their whiskey in ex-fortified wine cask, it was actually used for top fortified wine. And even Dave Broom talked about how good this distillery is.
I was a huge fan of the wines themselves.
Anyway, I won't beat around the bush anymore. My world whiskey of the year is going to be the Morris Muscat. It looks like I'm not that far through until you see actually, But even Wade talked about on that video where we talked about New Zealand and Australian whiskies.
They actually have their own cask. If you said to me, I want to try an Australian whiskey to see what it's all about, and I've only got $100, I'd tell you to go and buy this.
And after trying a few from the Morris range, my favorite definitely is the Muscat barrels. It just had this really interesting twist on rich and spiced whiskies that I've never had before. I actually love it so much that I've got this one here, which is the Morris single barrel. I feel like if you wanted to buy a really nice gift, rather than just getting a blue label, get this one. And this genuinely is the best Australian whiskey I've ever had in my life.